What is up, my viewers? Spang here, bringing you the continuation of my, the mainstay of my channel, the World of Tanks gameplay commentaries. This is actually one of my replays for a change. I know, it's the first one I've done for 9.6, and I'm driving my Lorraine 40-ton on the standard battle version of Mountain Pass. Now, they did actually do an encounter version of this map, and I think there might have also been an assault version, or maybe I'm getting it mixed up and there was just one. But I haven't seen that in the rotation for a good long while. I think they deemed it was too one-sided. It's been far too long for me to recall accurately. But I am trying to get into the 9.12 submissions as well, work on recent... Anyway, no, you want to know what? Not important for this match. I don't even know why I'm getting into that. Actually, I do. Mainly because it's been so long since I've done a commentary. Now this is the first one I've done in a good long while. The one you saw prior to this was recorded prior to the break. So obviously going to be a bit of a difference in time. And right now, as per usual, okay, getting a little bit of lag in the replay. Not sure what's up with that. My computer seems to be a little slow. This is getting recorded on my laptop, so that might have something to do with it, although my laptop is usually pretty good about it. But as I was going to say, nothing too unusual here. You see a T-54 trying to push up in the middle, get spots for his team. Very useful role for that tank, actually. He is top tier. He knows he can handle stuff. He's relying on his team to have his back in case he gets pushed on, and they most likely will. But at the same time, you're going to see very quickly here why it's a bad option for him. And that is because me and the Pershing are deciding to roll right up on his side if I don't hit the rock and act like a little bit of an idiot. See me repositioning just slightly to try and get better shots and unload my 1800 points of damage, because that is how many points of damage I can do in this game. 300 average damage. He will break my ammo rack on the first shot, and it felt like he broke my turret, but I was just wrong about that, and we will kill him. So minimal damage to me. Yeah, I mean, I took about 550 hit points of damage, but certainly worth it to remove one of the top tier threats to the game. And the enemy Super Pershing saying, "Enemy, look at the map, lols." Not quite sure what's up with that, but he might be talking about the Northern Pass, where our team has pretty much left that free and open for the enemy until they get to our base, at which point they are in a world of hurt. We have the 103 down here providing some armor and resistance to the enemy's push here down the 1-2 line, which is a very common pushing lane for the enemy team. I can't quite tell what's with the 103 there. Oh, never mind. It is the IS-3. So again, some sturdy armor. Not the most sturdy armor here. It's not like it's an E75 or a Tiger II or anything like that. But it is certainly able to better absorb the shots than I am. That is for sure. The French line certainly not known for tanking in the traditional sense. And by that, I mean absorbing damage, deflecting the enemy's push. Ooh, speaking of enemy KV-4 on this southern flank, I'm just looking for shots here to support our T-49, who's trying to do his part. And there is an ISU 152 in the center. Now, if my voice sounds a little bit off for this commentary, I did just wake up about 30 minutes ago, and I am doing this while I have some motivation to actually get some commentaries done. So hopefully this motivation will continue in the following days, and you guys will enjoy many, many more, and hopefully this lag does not persist. As you can tell, this match has got me running quite a bit. Got me running. I'm sorry. I should never sing ever during my commentaries. It's just terrible of me. But apology done. The enemy team certainly has me looking for a good avenue of attack. And right here, I see a potential to get into their base, possibly kill Artie, possibly divert their enemies, their forces' attention, pull them back, and hopefully pull some pressure off of my team. At least that is the mindset I'm in. Keep in mind, this is 9.6. 9.13 just came out, so it's been a while since I've actually viewed this replay. And as per usual, just full disclosure out there, I never preview anyone's replays, my own included. The only recollection I have of it is the battle played, but I mean, I also have a pretty good memory, so I do remember my mindset at this point in the match was, well, maybe I can help my team out by pulling pressure off of them and also killing artillery. I mean, because why not artillery, those camping bastards? Yeah, I say that as an artillery player, 2 tier 10 Arties in my garage, a tier 8 also. Although I have given up on the arty lines, just simply because I no longer find artillery enjoyable. It is one of those classes where it seems more of a hassle than anything to me, just due to its inconsistency. But that being said, right now I'm looking for good kills on the enemy tank destroyers. That round will go wide. I'm trying to not get shot by the ISU. I will get shot by the AT-15. The ISU did just fire, although I don't think I perceived that in the match. AT-15 does have a good rate of damage, and by that I mean he doesn't have a high alpha, high damage per shot, but he is able to put on the hurt just like the Tortoise in terms of damage per minute. And that is a uniquely kind of World of Tanks sort of terminology I've come to discover talking with a lot of friends who play MOBAs and other such types of games. They often talk in damage per second. And I'm like, well, if you say DPS to a World of Tanks player, oftentimes they'll probably think you mean damage per shot, or alpha, as it is so often termed in this game. Which I think when people say alpha, they mean like attack, and by that they mean like damage per shot. I mean, World of Tanks is definitely a damage per minute sort of game, just simply due to the mechanics of it. So damage per second does not lend itself at all. Right now, again, I am running. I feel like I've done a plenty good job of pulling enemy forces off their kind of push and redirecting them a bit. Right now, the Challenger and Roomba definitely center, and we have an Object 416 right here who I'm trying desperately to hit, and I'm gonna have to take that slim shot as his hatch. And I know my words just mixed up there a little bit. Please forgive. Again, just woke up 3 minutes ago. But trying to get that Object 416 taken out. The Super Pershing is no longer a threat. I don't even know why I even mentioned him. I guess I thought he was still going to be a threat, but I think I was probably more likely thinking about that T-54 E1, the Echo, as I so affectionately called it when I drove it. I did love that vehicle. It was a very solid Tier 9 medium, despite its lack of mobility. And right there, no, that Super Pershing is still much alive and dangerous right here. I will kill him, however, while the KV-4 starts to turn his gun towards me, but he will get nothing. Although, I am kind of distracting him a bit. Okay, I was wrong. He will get something, but he will lose his life for it. Getting monster kill number 6, and my team probably winning thanks to me. Given that it's 15-9 and I have 6 of our kills, I really did a good job pulling, not to toot my own horn or pat myself on the back, but I mean that quick little subversion there that brought the enemy tank destroyers back to their base and made them think I was a larger threat than pushing into our team. Probably did a lot of good to help our allies really hold them off. But that being said, let's go to those post-game stats and see how pretty much how everyone else on either team did. And looking at those stats, we do see Top Gun. Obviously, we knew I earned that. Got myself Fire for Effect, hard to not get, and Duelist. Fire for Effect is usually my judgment of if I have been quote-unquote effective, hence the name of the ribbon. Definitely a good indicator. It helps to do your tank's damage and hit points and damage. There we go, I actually said it properly. And also, if you can get a kill, I feel like that should be an added, because right now, correct me if I'm wrong, and I'll correct myself here. So, yep, unavailable for SPGs can be obtained, but it's only damage caused. If they added get 1 kill and do your tank's damage, hit points and damage, then I think that would be a better show of force, because you eliminated a gun and you did enough damage to add up to your tank's kind of more or less weight in the hit point pool, in the game pool, sort of. It would be a better indication, but I felt like they didn't want to make it too hard to get. But at the same time, with it being so easy to get, it kind of removed its importance. Now, our T-34, who was sitting back on base, definitely doing a lot of work there, abusing his turret armor, I would only assume, on that hill, firing down into those enemy tanks pushing on our base, and doing a great job of it, apparently. Obviously, not there to actually observe it, but post-game stats definitely show something of that sort. 14 shots fired, and with that, I mean, the T-34 is not a fast reload tank. It is slow, slow to load, slow to fire. But man, does it have punch for a Tier 8. It's got that 400 alpha, which is, medium of the road. It's not amazing, but it's good for a heavy tank. And it has amazing penetration, the best Tier 8 heavy penetration out there with standard shells. So certainly able to do a lot of work there. Our artillery actually doing a pretty good job for himself. Enemy artillery, the poor son of a bitch I killed right there. There he is. Yeah, not doing as much. And the rest of our team kind of doing all right. Our KV-5, 0 damage. That is sad. But the enemy T-54 E1 doing a lot of work before finally getting eliminated in the middle there. Unfortunately, I wasn't the one to kill him. but the IS6 also doing work. I don't quite recall where he was, but I can hazard a guess. He's probably either pushing our base or on the 1-2 line. Either case, he was certainly doing work for the enemy team. More damage than I did, but what really solidified this match and solidified my importance in it was kind of throwing the enemy team for a loop. If those tank destroyers had pushed center instead of falling back to base, if that artillery had been able to get off 1 or 2 more shots and possibly damage our vehicles that were out in the open trying to defend base, who knows, really? It's hard to say, but I think diversion is a vastly underrated tactic in World of Tanks. Sometimes you really just got to be able to pull the enemy's attention elsewhere and alleviate some of the weight, some of the push on your team on different areas of the map. And you know, opening up a third flank in their base is certainly one way to do that. It's all a matter of a judgment call, and I saw that opportunity as the Lorraine 40-ton with my, you know, superior mobility to really do that. So again, the enemy team made me run for it, but certainly it paid off, and definitely a worthwhile match to learn from. It has that key lesson. And again, my matches are typically not as fun for me to commentate, so all the more importance for you guys to send them to me. But that's pretty much going to be a wrap for this video. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like. If you want to see more, of course, you can always subscribe. If you got something you want to suggest or share, comment section below. If you've got a replay you think I should do a commentary on, instructions for that and more in the description below. And as always, this has been Spang, and clearly I am just oh so professional.
MLG Dynamo.